Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, LaurenNicole, and I'm back with another lock video. Today I really wanted to discuss lock hygiene because I feel like this is something that needs to be discussed more often because some of y'all out there with poor lock hygiene making it hard for all of us that do actually clean our locks and keep them fresh. So I'm going to give you guys 4 things that I have noticed throughout the years that have caused funk and stank in your locks. So stay tuned if you want to hear what those things are. So the first thing that I feel like a lot of people do that causes funk in locks that they do not realize that they are doing is washing your hair and not letting it completely dry before you put it up into a protective style or before you pull it up into a ponytail to go to bed at night. You can't do that because our locks are like sponges, so they literally absorb every single thing. And you know what it's like when you find a wet sponge the next day that's just been chilling wet the whole time. That shit stinks. So you don't want that to be your locks. Like, your locks have to completely dry before you start putting them in buns, before you lay your head on that pillow to go to sleep. And yeah, you just have to make sure your hair is completely dry. This is why I recommend, especially with thick locks, because our locks take even longer to dry than the standard lock. So if you have thick locks, I highly recommend you wash your hair early in the day on the warmest day of the week where you can go outside and air dry. If you can't go outside and air dry, that's fine, but just try and wash your hair early in the day so you get plenty of time to try to get your locks to dry, because you go to sleep on them things and they're damp, you're gonna be real sad when you wake up in the morning. So yeah, make sure they're dry. And if you don't have time to wash your hair in the morning, you need to get a blow dryer or a hooded dryer. You need to invest in one of those two to make sure that your hair is completely dry, because if you put wet locks up, they will stink in the morning. The second thing you need to do to make sure that your locks are not stanky is to make sure, as I always say, you're not using products that have a bunch of chemicals and stuff in them, a bunch of non-natural ingredients, because those things will sit in your locks. Even if you are using like natural ingredients, you need to be sure that you are thoroughly getting the product out of your hair with each shampoo, because if you are leaving product left behind in your locks, it's gonna smell. You're gonna see it over time. I can't tell you how many times I've washed somebody's hair. Say it's like a new client that they just started coming to me and they don't even know what the loctician before me was using in their hair. As soon as I put them in that shampoo bowl and put that water on their head, you can smell any buildup that's left in that person's locks. So you need to be mindful of what you're using. Natural products, in my opinion, just rinse out better. They wash out better. If you're just using things like black soap, coconut oil, castor oil, aloe vera, flaxseed, those things wash out of your locks a lot easier than some of the stuff that they're now marketing to people with locks. So be mindful of that. The third thing is, if you decide you want to have a barbecue, you want to, have the charcoal grill going, you decide you want to deep fry some food and have your whole kitchen smelling like fried goodness, guess what? That's going to stick into your locks. That smell is going to stick into your locks. So you need to be ready to wash your hair after you do that. Or you could keep it covered. A lot of people do that if you don't want to wash as often. Keep your locks covered when you're doing something like that. If you're around somebody who is smoking a cigarette, if you're around just any funky smells, keep in mind your locks are a sponge and they're going to absorb that smell in. So it is very important that you either keep your locks covered while you're doing those things, or you just get prepared to wash your hair. If you barbecue, I guarantee you your locks are still going to smell like charcoal, grilled, whatever you put on the grill the next day. They're going to smell like that. So don't do that. Wash your hair immediately after you grill, fry, or are around, strong scents that you don't want your hair to smell like. You need to either be prepared to shampoo or keep them completely covered while you're doing that. And the fourth thing is, and I know some people are not going to like this, but you have got to wash your hair. I know there are people who literally go like 2 months plus without washing their hair because they do not like to wash their hair unless they are actually about to visit their loctician and get a retwist or do the retwist themselves. Like, there are people who do not wash their hair. And I mean, that's cool if you live a pretty sedentary lifestyle where you don't sweat or anything like that. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna just keep it real. If you are sweating and going month, 2 months without washing your locks, your scalp and hair is gonna smell. I know some people don't want to hear that, but it's gonna smell. So you have to keep that into consideration. Like, this is your hair, this is your scalp. I get it, we're locking our hair, and as African people, we cannot be getting our hair wet all the time. I totally understand that. But if you are sweating, I truly believe you need to be washing your hair no less than every 3 to 4 weeks. I personally wash my hair every 1 to 2 weeks, and I don't even work out that often, maybe 2 to 3 times a week on an average. I am working out a little more now that I'm at home, but I don't even work out that often. But I just do not feel like it is cool to just have like dried up sweat in your head. So I definitely believe, and I know there's probably going to be some people who get offended by that, and I'm sorry, not sorry, but if you are sweating in your scalp on a regular basis, you need to be shampooing your hair on a regular basis. I know you don't want to ruin that retwist, but you might not be able to smell it because we get immune to our own funk. Like, when you stink, sometimes you don't even know you stink, but you walk past somebody, they get a gust of that air and they know. So I just highly recommend, if you live an active lifestyle, you shampoo your hair at least every 3 to 4 weeks, at least. And if you are one of those people who needs to wait for your loctician to retwist your hair, or you only want to shampoo when you get a retwist, I hope you're just not sweating that much. So yeah, I don't know how else to say it, but those are the things that I think will help you keep a clean, healthy, fresh smelling scalp and set of locks, because there's already people who think that when you have locks, you don't wash your hair, you're dirty, you're this, you're that. So the last thing you need is people thinking, or people seeing and smelling your hair being funky. That's the last thing you need. So keep it clean, keep it fresh. Of course, you know if your scalp and your hair is drier than the next person, and you know if you sweat more than the next person. But those are just things that I feel like will help you keep your locks nice and fresh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, and if you have any comments, leave them down below. See you guys next time.